In massive anticipation, a new teaser and a few still images just dropped for Season 2 of House of the Dragon. Here is my reaction to the costumes. If you've tuned in to any of my videos discussing House of the Dragon's first season, you're likely aware that I harbored reservations regarding the costumes crafted by costume designer Janie Tamim. While I won't delve deeply into the specifics here, my concerns revolved around the blend of historical references, the presence of shiny synthetic fabrics, the incorporation of modern underwear, poorly fitting costumes, and regrettably, some rather dreadful wigs. Now, despite my doubts, it managed to secure a Costume Designers Guild Award for Excellence in Science Fiction Fantasy Television and an Emmy nomination for Outstanding Fantasy Sci-Fi Costumes. Now, I did, however, have to cut production some slack because everything in Season 1 had to be built from the ground up and during a global pandemic. Therefore, I'm very hopeful for Season 2, which boasts a new costume designer. You'll likely know Irish costume designer Caroline McCall from her previous work on Downton Abbey and His Dark Materials. It appears that she has attempted to bridge the concepts and designs from Season 1, blending them in this new season with her distinctive personal design aesthetics. Now, it wouldn't make sense to completely throw out the baby with the bathwater, so many costumes that originally appeared in Season 1 have returned. For instance, the White Cloak costumes. I did, however, notice that the armor worn by Sir Criston Cole, Lord Commander of the Kingsguard, has been slightly modified. They seem to have corrected that odd gap between his gorget, so now it is set right in with his breastplate. As well, there is an addition of some scales and mailed chains added to the sleeves of his gambeson. It also appears that he's been made the new Hand of the King because he's wearing the interlocking hands on his armor, similar to the ones that Tyrion wore in the Game of Thrones episode Battle of the Blackwater. 2 crowns have also returned. The first is King Jaehaerys' crown, passed down to King Viserys and then to his daughter Queen Rhaenyra, and then Aegon the Conqueror's crown, as ugly as I think it is with its sad little rubies, now worn by Alicent's son Aegon the Elder. I am happy to see that it is sitting on his head properly this season. Some have reacted that it looks too big on his head because he is ill-suited to rule. The other repeat is Daemon Targaryen's set of dragon armor with a matching helm. He has a few sets. In the trailer, he's wearing his battle armor. Yes, the helm is the same 3D printed plastic one from Season 1. The trailer also showcases various noble houses with the initial focus on House Hightower. Clad in plate armor with green gambesons beneath, men-at-arms carry the banners of House Hightower. Additionally, 2 other houses from the Crown Lands, compelled to pledge allegiance to King Aegon under extreme duress, make their appearance. House Stokeworth is identified by a white lamb holding a golden goblet on a green field displayed on their shields, while House Rosby's emblem features 3 red chevronels on ermine. It's worth noting my appreciation for the abundance of male coifs and male shirts beneath the plate armor throughout the trailer. Amidst intense battle sequences, including what appears to be a ground assault featuring a fire-breathing dragon, the identification of noble houses becomes possible through the distinctive surcoats worn over their armor. Among the combatants, the young red-headed men seem to belong to House Bracken, an older house that also aligns itself with the Blacks. Their surcoat prominently displays the house crest, a red stallion upon a golden shield set against a brown backdrop. Pictured with Criston Cole are the Greens, men-at-arms dressed in green surcoats with the personal sigil of King Aegon II Targaryen, a 3-headed golden dragon representing his mount, Sunfire the Golden. Aegon's appearance in the current season closely resembles that of the previous one, with a notable change being the shift in his doublet color from black to green. The doublet is adorned with a metallic gold embroidered variation of his sigil featuring a mirror image of Sunfire the Golden. This looks like the work of the incredible embroidery artist headed up by embroiderer extraordinaire Michelle Carragher. Additionally, there's an extension of his chain of order incorporating extra links. Alicent is featured wearing 4 outfits in the trailer. A green jacquard gown with wide gold trim that lines her long hanging sleeves. It's similar to the silhouette we saw her wear in Season 1. A blue-green velvet gown with gold embroidery that appears to be the same color as the chair she's sitting in. An outfit that features a pretty gold mesh overlay and a simple and pious white gown. She wears another green velvet gown that isn't featured in the trailer, but is in the poster that was released the day before the trailer. I found a behind-the-scenes picture of her wearing this same outfit. Allison wears this golden diadem in a few scenes with a veil, gold earrings, and a small gold Faith of the Seven pendant. Switching to the blacks, Baela Targaryen is seen atop her dragon Moondancer. Noteworthy are the subtle references to Daenerys Targaryen's costumes from Game of Thrones, such as Baela's flat chevron-pleated cape and the brooch securing it. In Game of Thrones, Daenerys gifted matching dragon brooches to Missandei and Grey Worm. Outside of his battle armor, Daemon wears a leather doublet with sleeves attached with laces. The detachable sleeves give him a full range of motion for cutting wood or removing the heads of his enemies. There is a scaly, dragon-like texture on the front of the doublet with some cutwork additions. In the still image released by HBO, where he's pictured with Rhaenyra, he's dressed in his typical long-line doublet made from subtle, scaly black leather fabric. Rhaenyra Targaryen, meanwhile, appears to have 5 looks featured in the trailer. The first one is dark red riding leathers. The silhouette is similar to the long-line doublet worn by noblemen in Westeros. Here's an example of Daemon wearing a similar style coat. Rhaenyra also wore riding leathers as a young woman in Season 1 with similar leather cutwork to her brown leather riding coat. Rhaenyra is also featured in the poster wearing the same outfit. And if you zoom in on the poster, you can see the subtle reptilian texture of the leather. There's also a really good close-up of her costume in the still image where she's pictured with Daemon. You can see the contrasting suede and leather cutwork details of the costume here. Rhaenyra also has another casual, asymmetrical gown with some beading on the shoulders. This again is reminiscent of Daenerys Targaryen's silhouette in later seasons of Game of Thrones. Now I have a small sidebar here. I've seen some comments that this looks like something from the Star Wars universe. But I have to push back on this because from the very first season of Game of Thrones, the Lannisters, whose father Tywin Lannister was Hand of the King of Mad King Aerys Targaryen, wore this style of Japanese-inspired asymmetrical dress. We saw it in the court gowns in King's Landing worn by Cersei and Sansa, one of the robes worn by King Robert himself, in the leather gambesons worn by the Lannister army. Even their armors are a direct influence of samurai armors. This is not to mention the countless times we saw this style of costumes worn by the Targs themselves, Daenerys and her brothers Viserys and Rhaegar. In later seasons, Dany's costumes and her followers take on the silhouette of the Mongolian deal. Now back to Rhaenyra. In a scene with Rhaenys, I can't quite make out the details, but Rhaenyra is dressed in another gown with some wide bands of beading coming down from the shoulder. Rhaenyra also has 2 additional looks in the trailer. A stunningly tailored dark red gown for a meeting with her war council, seemingly adorned with exquisite embroidery on the bodice. I'm eagerly anticipating a closer glimpse of this costume. In her formal court ensemble, the one complemented by her gold crown, she displays remarkable dragon embellishments on the shoulders and subtle beading on the bodice. Despite the teaser trailer's dark color grading, which tends to desaturate the hues, the costumes appear impressive based on the teaser and few pictures available. So I eagerly anticipate the release of more still images and hopefully a more extensive trailer before the premiere of House of the Dragon Season 2 in the summer of 2024. Share your thoughts on the costumes in the comments section. I love to hear your opinions. And for additional House of the Dragon content on my channel, you can find a link in the pinned comment. Thank you so much for spending time with me. I look forward to seeing you in the next video.